If you're standing in the middle of a storm and wondering whether your home will stay lit, I'm going to walk through the real considerations of a whole house standby generator. The goal here is to help you decide if this is a purchase that actually solves the problems you're facing, not just another piece of equipment that ends up gathering dust. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you start looking at a generator of this size, the first question that pops into most people's heads is, do I really need a whole home solution, or can a portable unit do the job? That hesitation usually comes from three places: the upfront cost of the unit and installation, the fear of dealing with fuel and maintenance, and the worry that you'll end up with more power than you ever use. Those are legitimate concerns, and they're the reason I spent a few hours digging through technical sheets, installation manuals, and the kind of buyer forums where people share the moments they actually needed power, not just the specs they dreamed about. Let's start with the core promise of this champion 12.5 kilowatt system. It's supposed to run the entire house automatically the moment the grid drops, and then switch back when power returns. The totally automatic claim hinges on the ATS 100 Emergency Essentials automatic transfer switch that comes bundled. In practice, that means you never have to crawl outside to pull a cord or remember to start a portable generator. The switch monitors the utility voltage, and as soon as it sees a dip it signals the generator to fire up, then routes the power through the home's main panel. For someone who works from home and can't afford a few minutes without internet, that seamless handoff can be a lifesaver. I've spoken with a few homeowners who said the peace of mind alone justified the expense, especially when they have medical equipment that can't tolerate outages. Quiet operation is another selling point that gets a lot of attention. Champion markets this unit as Quietest-in-class because of advanced sound dampening and a specially designed enclosure. In the field, the difference is noticeable. A 12.5 kilowatts generator can sound like a low rumble if it's placed too close to a bedroom window, but with the proper siting typically on a concrete pad at least 10 feet from living spaces the noise blends into the background. That's a practical strength. You can install it in a garage or a detached shed and still keep the sound level low enough that it doesn't disturb a sleeping baby or a home theater session. Reliability across temperature extremes is a claim you can't ignore if you live in a place with harsh winters or scorching summers. The generator uses a 24-volt starting system that's rated to crank in sub-zero conditions and in extreme heat. In real-world terms, that means you're less likely to face a no-start situation on a January night when the temperature has plunged to -15°C, 5F. The engine's oil and coolant circuits are also designed to handle those ranges, which cuts down on the maintenance headaches that plague cheaper models. If you've ever been stranded because a portable unit refused to start after a cold snap, this reliability factor is a concrete reason to consider a standby system. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The first is installation. A 12.5 kilowatts unit isn't a plug-and-play gadget. It requires a qualified electrician to connect the transfer switch to your main panel, and a certified installer to set up the fuel source, usually natural gas or propane. That installation cost can easily run into the low four figures, depending on local labor rates and any necessary permits. For renters or homeowners who aren't planning to stay in the same house for many years, that upfront investment may never pay off. The second trade-off is fuel consumption. Running a 12.5 kilowatts engine at full load will burn roughly 1.2 gallons of propane per hour, which adds up if you experience a prolonged outage. It's not a cheap running cost, but it's also predictable, unlike the surprise of a dead battery in a portable unit. Who should buy this? If you live in a region with frequent, multi-hour blackouts, think the Midwest tornado belt, the Gulf Coast hurricane zone, or northern states with heavy snowfall, a whole home standby generator can keep your refrigerator, HVAC, sump pump, and home office running without you lifting a finger. It's also a solid choice for families with members who rely on home-based medical devices, such as oxygen concentrators or dialysis machines, where even a few minutes without power can be risky. For anyone who runs a small business out of their garage or needs to maintain security systems that require constant power, the automatic, whole-house coverage eliminates the need for manual backup plans. On the flip side, If you're a homeowner who only needs a few essential circuits, say the fridge and a few lights, and you're comfortable running a portable generator manually once a month, this champion unit is likely overkill. The same goes for people who own a property with limited space for